play. Hello, hello. It's Water Wednesday. Thank you for joining. My name is Christina. I represent Chanson Water USA. Chanson is a leading water ionizer and filtration company located in Laguna Hills, California, but we do have distributors all over the world. We scope every Wednesday live at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And last week we talked about the importance of filtering your shower water. Today we are talking about sports drinks versus ionized alkaline water. So kind of why you would choose one over the other. So let's talk about the good thing about sports drinks. First of all, what do we always hear is the main benefit besides them being quote unquote more hydrating? Sports drinks are marketed as being full of electrolytes, right? So what is an electrolyte? The definition I have here, it says an electrolyte is the ionized or ionizable constituents of a living cell, blood, or other organic matter. Another definition says it is a substance that produces an electrically conducting solution when dissolved in a polar solvent, such as water. So examples of electrolytes include calcium, magnesium, sodium, phosphorus, chloride, and potassium. So electrolytes are great, right? They are minerals, and drinking them is going to be beneficial to the body. However, there are so many downsides of drinking sports drinks. I'm going to try not to name names, but we're just going to go through some of them right now. So the number one thing that you should know about sports drinks is that they are extremely acidic. The leading brand is a 2.95 on the pH scale, which is actually more acidic than the leading energy drink brand and the leading diet soda brand. Okay, we're talking extremely, extremely acidic. Anytime you drink something acidic or eat something acidic, you are stealing minerals from your body in order to be able to just process it without dying. Okay, so extremely acidic. One study published in 2009, I believe, said that drinking the leading sports drink was more damaging to enamel and root surfaces of the teeth than any other substance that they tested. They tested apple juice, soda, and energy drinks. So that makes sense with the pH findings being only a 2.95. Sports drinks are going to be more damaging to your teeth, and they are extremely acidic. They also have a positive ORP. The leading brand is positively charged with an ORP of 3.18. Okay, whenever we have a positively charged substance we are consuming, that means that it is full of free radicals, which are destroying to our cells. So it can actually break down the body. And then, of course, sports drinks are filled with artificial colors, flavors, and sweeteners. And anything artificial is bad for us, okay? The body doesn't know what to do with it. It's not something found in nature. So, for example, just the colors alone, right? The color is going to vary based on the flavor of the sports drink, but most of them have red dye in them, right? For cherry or orange or grape flavor, they're going to have red dye in them. And one little story, I was looking at Facebook the other day, and my friend said that her 3-year-old son, he doesn't drink sports drinks, but he had just some candy from his Easter basket, and she watched, him and his behavior with the red dye. She said he became a monster within like an hour of consuming that versus other candies. It wasn't just the sugar, it was the dye. So she's actually eliminating red dye from his diet. Okay, so any color is bad, but red is considered the worst. And most sports drinks contain those artificial colors. And then as far as sugar is concerned, artificial sweeteners are bad, but sugar itself, the amount, we always have to watch the amount that we consume. So the American Heart Association recommends that a grown woman limit her sugar intake to 34 grams of sugar a day. One 16-ounce bottle of the leading sports drink contains 28 grams of sugar. So that's more than I'm supposed to drink in a day. And if I'm giving it to my 15-year-old child, or, you know, a lot of these kids playing sports are 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, if they're drinking that, that's way more sugar than they would need. There is, as far as I know, no recommendation for children for the sugar intake, but obviously it's going to be less than the 24 grams a day for a grown woman. So another reason you might want to avoid sports drinks would be the plastic bottles they are sold in themselves. Whether or not they contain BPA in the plastic would depend on the manufacturer, but all plastics can leach into the substance, the liquid inside of the bottle itself. And because sports drinks are made with filtered water, they pull the toxins from the bottle. They do. So, yeah, plastic is bad. And then the sports drinks are actually dehydrating. I pulled this quote off when I wrote this article originally in 2011, so I don't know if it's still up on the Leading Sports Drinks website, but they literally tell you in their description that it is dehydrating. It's part of the marketing tactics. So let me find it real quick. Okay. Quote from their website. It stimulates thirst, so athletes will ingest an adequate amount of fluid and electrolytes to stay better well hydrated compared to when using beverages without electrolytes, particularly sodium. So it is a scientific fact that by the time you are feeling thirsty, you are already dehydrated. So they are saying right here that their product is designed to dehydrate you and so that you'll drink more of it. Okay, do you see what's wrong with this picture? We're giving this to our children and athletes and expecting them to be better hydrated when in reality it's actually extremely acidic, breaking down the body, providing them with unnatural substances, and overall harming them. So now let's talk about the alternative, which is ionized alkaline water, specifically from a Chanson water ionizers, which can be found at chansonwater.com. So a water ionizer is an electric device that hooks up to your tap water, and it restructures the water using the process of electrolysis. And the water that we recommend drinking is a 9.5 pH, so that is going to be alkaline on the pH scale and much, much different than that 2.95 that you would get from a sports drink. The ORP is when made at that pH range, it's going to be a negative charge of about -200 to -500, which means that it actually has antioxidant-like effects versus the sports drink, which is creating those free radicals instead of eliminating them. Then what it does, when you ionize the water, you are taking the minerals found in the water and you're putting an electric charge on them, which makes the minerals more bioavailable. So there are electrolytes in your water, and by ionizing them, you are going to be making your body absorb it more readily, which is exactly what these sports drinks, they make it sound so great, but really you're going to be getting a much better hydration from those minerals when it is ionized by an electric water ionizer. The electric charge itself is beneficial. Our bodies crave water with the electric charge. So I'm only referring to water made with an electric water ionizer, not something like a non-electric ionizer or a bottled alkaline water. We'll actually be talking about those on a separate scope. You can also, if you want, not necessary, but if you wanted to, you could add a pinch of Himalayan sea salt to your ionized water to give it that extra boost, that extra energy boost from the sodium in the water. And then we would be, it's more hydrating because it is restructuring your water. So Japanese scientists actually believe that there are smaller water clusters being created, which can get into your cells on a deeper level. So rather than the sports drinks, which are actually dehydrating you and making you drink more, you're going to be craving this water. It's not going to give you that bloated, waterlogged feeling because of the restructuring and the electric charge. You're actually going to be craving it. And then, of course, you're making it at home, so you can control what container you're putting it into. It's not going to default to a BPA plastic bottle that's sitting on store shelves for months and absorbing all that nasty toxins from the plastic. So we recommend glass overall, but if you were, taking your child to the field for their sports activities, you could always do BPA-free plastic. You do want to avoid stainless steel because that will remove the charge of the ionized alkaline water. You want to be drinking it as freshly made as possible. It does start to lose its charge over time, so you want to consume it within 12 hours if possible, up to 24 to 48 hours maximum. So that's it for sports drinks versus ionized alkaline water. Even if you don't switch to our product, I highly recommend that you avoid sports drinks in general. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us again at chanceandwater.com. Have a great day.